Hello. I have a topic today. Normally I just make these videos on the fly, but I don't know. I'm trying something different. So I just started with really I just pulled it out randomly. I went into my phone's notes and was like, here's something that I wrote at one time and decided to talk about it to really to practice. So I I don't know whether I'm going to post this video or not, but we will see how it goes because I wrote out some things, but it's not. I didn't finish writing out, so we'll see if I can just keep talking about it. But I wanted to practice speaking anyway today. So yeah, today's topic is it is not your fault that people don't like you. And it is not your fault you cannot perform to your own liking. And yeah, I feel like I could easily make a video arguing the exact opposite, that it is your fault that people don't like you. And it is your fault you cannot perform to your liking. And I think there's a lot of people that would agree or resonate with that. They would feel like, they would feel like in life, it really does feel like it's your fault. And I guess right now I'm trying to read and speak, and they just feel like two different worlds, where it's like when I'm trying to go through what I've written, it definitely feels like my brain shuts off of like me thinking and like actually speaking. It's like I'm just reading somebody else's words. So I guess I'm noticing that at this point, where it's like to I don't know, I would have to come back up with it again for it to feel smooth, or I have to like read it as is. And maybe I'll just read a moment and then explain it a bit more. Yeah, I wrote here, how you are most of the time determines what people think about you. And it's kind of like, be likable and people will like you. Be unlikable and people won't like you. Or be what others like or don't like. And they will either like or not like you. And I think everybody ends up getting to a point where they realize they can't please everybody because different people like different things, and some people have distorted perspectives on what is likable to them, and so people know. See, this is where I just said a statement, but I'm not really like processing what I'm thinking. Yeah, so a lot of people learn that you can't please everybody. So you end up like maybe trying to be liked by the most people, or I think what it ends up being is, how do I be liked by the people that I want to be liked by? People that, you know, remind me of mom and dad, or have money or status or beauty. And you'll try to find out what they like so that you'll be liked by them. And I mean, I know that I act and have acted in that way. And, there's advantages to be liked. There are advantages to, there's advantages of safety, so that, now I wrote here, it provides safety from others who want to stop and control what they don't like from existing. So they might, I can hear my dad outside talking on the phone. Yeah, because if you don't make certain people not like you, then that can be a protection of safety for someone who either wants to stop your behavior, whether it be through shaming or just passive aggressive manipulation of like saying things, saying judgments that aren't forthright, or there's actual violence. People try to stop you. The most extreme case would be like murdering somebody, where you're literally trying to stop what you don't like from existing. So there's obviously benefits to being liked, and it has the positive side of, if you're liked, then people generally are more generous to you, and will give you more of their attention, because they're drawn to what they like. And that can make you feel significant compared to others that don't get that attention. And so where does my original thought of it's not your fault that people don't like you? I moved to I think people can understand how it can be that it's not your fault if it's something that is out of your control, or that you don't choose, or you don't have some kind of impact on that result. I think people can understand that, and one clear way is your skin color, because who chose their skin color? It's not something that really any of us have control over. And if people don't like you based on your skin color, you didn't choose that. Did you choose who your parents were? No. But at the moment that you start making choices and decisions and impact and actions, once you start taking actions independent of others, um, then that is where fault enters the scene, where whatever choices that you did make, it is your fault for who you became, or at least that is what those are the reasons someone gives for trying to stop things that they don't like, which is called blame. So let's see. Yeah, because if you made choices that you could have made a different choice and someone doesn't like it, doesn't like the choices that you made, or they don't like how those choices have changed you or made you to be, then it is your fault that they don't like you. And yeah, and at that moment you can start making actions. That is really when people start accusing one another with blame for them becoming this or that. And that is where even something like I mentioned, like racism, you didn't choose your skin color. You didn't choose your genetics. You didn't choose who your parents were. But at the moments that you could start making choices, people wanted to blame how people with that skin color act when it's really their culture, when it's really how that community lives is what they really have a problem with. And for those that don't think a little bit deeper, your skin color gets attributed to, really your actions get attributed to your skin color. How you look means that you are going to act like this culture, and this is a culture that I don't like. These people tend to act in these ways, or are or these kind of people. I put that in quotes because it's ambiguous description that they have that they don't like, that gets attributed to the aspect of their looks, which are not responsible for. I'm not responsible for my skin color, where I was born, the time I was born, my age, and yeah. I wrote here the question, is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing that it's your fault that people don't like you? Because I wrote the choices that change things or change you to make you into someone people don't like also can make you into someone that they do like. I'm just reading here. I went on to something else, but I wanted to cover a little bit of the power of your actions. Like, that is what existence is the ability to create change, to make actions, even if they're non-actions, they're actions because you potentially could have made an action. And that's what life is. If you're dead, that's the point. You can no longer create impact. And some can say your death is the last action that you take, the last impact that you bring. Is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing that you have some ability to impact others liking or not liking you? And because of the benefits that people liking you has, why not just change yourself into the person that makes the people you want to like you like you? And why wouldn't you just, be a shapeshifter to cater to the people that you want to like you? Which I think anyone who has lived long enough or is aware that is a game that is exhausting to play. And there's nothing wrong with being someone that people like. But to do something that costs your soul. Yeah? Alright, I'm making a video.
Trader Joe's, food, anything?
Fish?
Huh?
Fish?
Fish. Yeah, fish. Anything else?
Probably. I don't care.
Think of anything else?
No, I'm making a video. Maybe I'll edit that out. I don't think I've really edited anything out yet before. But this is why I thought maybe I'll be done. Maybe I won't upload this because, there's some things that I like to think through that are hard to think through on the fly that I wanted to go into from here. That are just not real clear in my mind. Off the top of my head. For the reasons that the conclusions, that's why do you not want to just live in a way where people like you, and it not being wrong that people like you. But should you try to make people like you? And even within that question, there's an assumption that you can. Because it gets messy with how you do certain things in relation to people that cater to, like, they're not gonna like that. But it seems like at the end of the day, or what matters in trying to connect to what someone else likes, that it's something that you agree with as well. So, for example, wild example, people would like you to wear clothes out in public. Most people probably. And I think deep down you would resonate with as well as that you understand, like, yeah, I would like to honor that preference of theirs. And some people, like, they think that streaking at a football game to them might provide more value than the people that don't want to see that, but the humor and the surprise and entertainment factor that might bring might be, more valuable to them. But that's probably not everybody's decision. It's definitely not the TV or security's decision, I guess the law's decision to mandate that people wear clothes. So, how you change yourself. The choices that you make need to resonate with you. And sometimes people don't like you. And your choices can really feel like you're the fault for reaping something that you didn't want. And I think that goes to my second statement, that it is not your fault you cannot perform to your own liking. And I wrote that meaning you have other people's perspective, and then you have your own about yourself, and how there's things that you do or say that you don't like. You wish you were here. You have an imagination of yourself that I wrote you cannot perform to, that you are not I lost my train of thought. You're just not as good as you wanted to be. And when the external results don't end up the way that you wanted them to be, it's very easy to carry blame for yourself. and really where I'm going with it not being your fault, that you're not to blame for people not liking you, you not liking yourself, not getting the results that you want from your own performance, is not your fault because really of forgiveness for your real identity. Because I would want to ask you, is Jesus worth not being liked? And I think the obvious answer would be, I'm obviously speaking for those who believe or respect Jesus as really as someone who did no wrong. And the fact that they did no wrong means that they didn't have any reason for anyone to not like them. He didn't have any reason that the people that he made wouldn't like him. And through Christ in you, you have the same identity of being in right relationship with everybody, having done no wrong to anybody, and right relationship with God. That is literally the definition of righteousness. And the righteousness of Christ was given to you. I don't have a verse off the top of my head, but there's scripture that that speaks to your righteousness, and that at the end of the day, in the same way that Christ didn't deserve people to not like him, he deserved everyone to like him. But he actually got his whole like hometown to like him one week when he came in on the donkey, and they were hailing him as the King of the Jews, and then was mocked and deserted, and everyone turned on him and did not like him. So therefore they crucified him. And that relates to the Christ in you, that when people don't like you, it's not your fault. You're actually deserving of being good enough for everyone, because all your faults have been forgiven. And it's viewed as yourself today is coming in with having been in right relationship with everyone, have done the right thing in relationship with everyone all the way up to this point, and then them not liking you is not your fault. And if you've internalized that to, I don't like what I have showed up with today because people didn't like it, or I didn't like it because they didn't like it, it's not your fault. You didn't deserve to you didn't deserve to not have been good enough. And you didn't deserve to not have grace from other people as well. Because the people could have not liked what Jesus was saying, but they could have given him grace. I was going to go in a different direction, but I don't want to do that. So in a practical sense, how does this truth help you? I was thinking about this, and it probably would be clear if I'd written it out, but I only wrote half of this talk out, and the other half is just coming from however I can articulate it on the fly. I think for me, a way that this helps me is acting in the world as if everyone does like you. I think a lot of people can act as if everybody doesn't like you, and that has an effect on how you show up to be. And when you think of how everyone already likes you, it's because you believe that everybody should like you. And not that they should like every behavior of yours. And I guarantee they won't. They already don't. They already don't like you. But viewing yourself as deserving of everyone liking you and thinking that everyone likes me creates the freedom to act in a way free of self-consciousness and hypervigilance and anxiety about, let me act in the perfect way so that people don't like me because it feels like it's my fault if they don't like me, if I show up in a way that is unlikable, is in the flesh or in sin or in the ego, where you're not even performing up to your own liking because you're not perfect yet. And that can create a real resentment for who you are today and who you show up today. And it can be hurtful when you don't perform up to what you would like to be. But when there's blame, first off, when you see it as not your fault, it really helps you to grieve that people don't like you, just like Christ. Him knowing that really he's acted in no way that was deserving of them not liking him. It would allow him to see that he's not deserving of that treatment and really he was made for more, that helps him to see that God is giving him something even bigger than people not liking him. He's actually saving the world by not getting what he actually deserves. And I would argue that you're doing the same thing. You're not necessarily providing the Spirit and salvation for all people, but you are part of these sufferings with Christ that save the world from really suffering and pain, and provides for you fulfillment and joy, because Christ is putting us all through this life for our joy, so that our joy may be complete. And it's not your fault that you can't perform to a degree that the people that you want to like you, and knowing that, releasing that blame can help you to either grieve or move into joy and thankfulness for how God is going to bless you for taking on people's dislike in really just being free, acting in your soul and doing the things that you feel like are right or are true to yourself. And I guess that's what I leave you with. I'm going to upload this. It is half me writing out stuff. I think I'm going to write more stuff out and try to maybe finish ideas or topics. It did help me work through a lot of that much quicker. And then the second half is just me trying to finish some of my thoughts, and I probably would have more. Probably wouldn't have been clear and cleaner and stuff like that if I'd written it out, but I knew that. So this is today's video. Thank you. Like and subscribe and share. It does help to spread it. Doing that stuff makes it spread, and that's just how it works today. So if you liked it and you think other people should see it, then share or comment or like it. And goodbye.